I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up trans rights. Transgender troops win key court ruling in military ban case. A federal judge has certified a class of transgender service members and prospective recruits challenging the Trump administration's military ban. This marks a major procedural step in the case, allowing it to move beyond the individual plaintiffs. U.S. District Judge Ana Reyes issued the ruling Tuesday in Talbott versus Trump during a hearing in Washington, D.C. The decision allows the lawsuit to proceed on behalf of a broader group of transgender people affected by the policy. Reyes also scheduled a trial for January 4th. Shannon Minter, legal director of the National Center for LGBTQ Rights, said, quote, "This is an incredibly significant case for our country, for the military, and for the thousands of transgender individuals who have dedicated their lives to military service. The court's decision to certify a class is an important step and will keep to ensure that any positive decision will benefit all transgender troops, not just the individual plaintiffs in this case. We look forward to an opportunity to prove our case," end quote. During the hearing, Reyes suggested the class would likely be narrower than initially proposed. Reyes also criticized delays in the litigation, telling plaintiffs' attorneys, quote, "We should be well into a permanent injunction. You have wasted on behalf of your client about a year of litigation time," end quote. The Trump administration continues to defend the military policy in court. Trans troops have already proven they can serve by serving, okay? The question isn't whether they're qualified, it's why they keep having to prove it in court over and over again. Last I checked, courage doesn't come with a gender marker. It just is, you know? And like, I've spoken to trans military folks, and it's like, they love our country so much, where I'm trying to talk them out of loving our country, which is crazy. You know, it's kind of how it's the 250th, anniversary of our country. And I want to be more excited, but I can't be, So you ask any of these transgender folks, would they still serve? And, they will all mostly say, yes, they would, because of the love for this country.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy.
Well, the military is not supposed to get necessarily its joie de vivre or its morale from the current administration. They're doing it because the military should be separate from the government. The president is the commander in chief, but he is a civilian commanding the military, and the military is its own thing. It's very important that, transgender people continue fighting for their rights under the current administration, because it's going to be under attack, from all sides. If they don't, if they're unable to win the government, is unable to win their case against banning transgender troops, they're going to try a different way to get those people out. And I really applaud anybody who is serving our military, transgender, cisgender, gay, straight, queer, whatever it may be, because thank you for your service, because there are people here in this United States. We might not be so happy with the things that we're seeing, but we know your sacrifice. And I want to say, in honor of the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, thank you, because you are what makes our country great. But this story is a step in the right direction. It is.
Yeah, I was doing some research on it today when I was reading about it. I had to put my glasses on because I can't read my notes.
Also because you look super cute with them
You
on.
do. I like them.
I just can't read that way. But anyway, it's a significant procedural win, but it's not a final decision.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's like the possibility of the ban itself. And the judge, as she has said, may narrow the class in her ruling. So it means she may even make it even more of a narrower class than just keeping it open to all transgender.
Transgender, that's less than 1% of the population.
Right.
So you want to make it less than
Right.
what? So the transgender folks with brown eyes? Like I don't
Right.
understand. You know what I mean? And again, it's like isn't like the Secretary of Defense? I don't think he's ever even like served a day.
Right.
National Guard.
I'll give him that.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
And I'm not carrying water for that guy. I'm just speaking factually about that. He was during Biden's inauguration. He was not allowed to serve, for any of the ceremonial stuff related to the inauguration of President Biden, because he was determined not extreme enough to be kicked out of the military, but too extreme to be there at Biden's inauguration because of his tattoos, because of some of his professed beliefs. And really quickly, not to belabor the point, what makes the Constitution a really awesome document, whether or not we like how it's being applied now, is that somebody in Idaho can't bring a suit against the federal government about something that's happening in Florida. Vice versa, somebody from Florida can't bring suit against something that's happening in another state that is not affecting them. So that's what is called standing. So what this judge is doing in this moment is saying that the people that are bringing this suit are affected by whatever policy it is that's happening in the military. And that's the genius of the Constitution, if you want to go there, because in certain other countries, you can clog up the court system by just saying, I don't like this, I don't like that, I have enough money, I'm going to hire a lawyer, and you bring a suit. And what it does is it really makes things not so permanent. Gridlock is built into our constitutional order. Things can't be changed that quickly at the amendment level. So we really rely on courts to do the right thing for minority folks, for marginalized communities. And I commend this judge. I don't know how it's going to go. Maybe I won't be commending them, in a couple months, but I want to commend them for saying that these people do have standing and that their case can proceed so that they can get their day in court and have it be fair.
And there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.